was a typo, and I'm like, welcome to Comics League Movie Night. I'm Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, man?
Ready to destroy this movie, aren't we?
Yeah, so here's the thing. We're talking about Conan the Destroyer. Now, let me tell you this. This movie is not god-awful. There are plenty of movies that are god-awful. Trust me. It's just compared to the first one, it's what a letdown.
Again, I've said this before. I'm positive this is a movie where it's like, this is not the movie they wanted to make, but they wanted to get something out there. The studio is pressuring them to get something out there ASAP. They realize, okay, this is not the one we got to tell. Let's just slapdash something and get it out there. We'll probably still be able to make the next movie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that sure didn't work out for them.
Oh, huh? Yeah.
But it's like the problem that this movie runs into is, first off, you introduce, hey, what's up, Cameron? You introduce all these new characters out of nowhere. And I'm sorry, his companion was so annoying.
There's so much wrong with this movie. But like I said, everything about it just feels like we're just spinning our wheels until we can actually get the script for the proper follow-up.
Yeah, it ends
right where it began.
It's similar to one of those situations where they needed a movie to be out to maintain the rights.
Exactly. But I mean, would you agree though? It ended right where it began. There was no progression whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no character progression at all. And I'm like, that's it?
Yep.
And I'm like, what the hell?
Exactly.
But it's like, so continuing on, so the movie basically is Conan has to bring a virgin princess somewhere. That's basically, it's an escort quest is essentially what it is.
Oh, by the way, also, Universal Pictures and Dino De Laurentiis thought it would be more successful if they made it less violent.
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, get this. Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway wrote the script for this, but it was watered down.
I saw that. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But
in fact, if you look up the graphic novel Conan, the Horn of Azoth, which is actually much more faithful.
Really?
Exactly. And believe it or not, it turns out the movie got its own adaptation, and then this one is just an adaptation of the undone script.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see. But yeah, I'm watching. That makes so much more sense now. I knew it had to be like some type of studio interference or anything like that.
Big time. Again, they were just rushing this out.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, it's like, I get what the studio is like, but I'm like, guys, you're just screwing up the movie. Why are you doing
That's the problem with the first film. The first film, you have all the time in the world to get it out just perfect. Once you get to the sequel, boom, we gotta do strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, if you give a good movie, then guess what that leads to?
I'll say it. This is also a case of the so bad it's good though at the same time.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's less violent and it's in many ways more annoying, but it's not like it's no Justice League level horrible.
Not touching that one.
No, I know. That's like put it this way. It's no Birds of Prey.
Exactly. But I will also say this though. You will and that actually no. And it's also not Red Sonja, as we'll see next week.
Oh God, I'm looking forward to that one.
Really?
I hope you can detect the sarcasm in my voice, brother. It's like, yeah.
That's why I went, really?
Yes, exactly. That's a very good reel. Well, I forget we're going to covering both Red Sonja movies. So, oh boy.
Oh boy.
But yeah.
But 2 separate weeks though, right?
2 separate weeks. We're not doing them all at once. I cannot handle doing them all at once.
No.
But but for like for these movies, it's like this is one of those occasions where there's like a straight up action movie where it's like there's less plot. You just want to see a shirtless barbarian swinging a sword. That's what it is.
Oh wait. I just found the intro to the Conan the Heart and the Horn of Azoth from Conway and Roy and Conway. Mm-hmm. This graphic novel didn't start out to be a graphic novel, or for that matter, anything in a comic format. It started life as a screenplay. Yada yada. Ed's instruction were simple. He and Universal wanted Conan 2 to be a lighter, PG-rated outing than the first movie, which they felt had been too somber. That meant we eventually had to jettison certain of the RTR ideas we came up with, such as a Last Temptation of Christ type climax, years before Kazansky's novel was filmed, in which Conan thinks he triumphed over Dagas, only to learn that his victory and its aftermath have been a deceptive dream caused by his godlike foe. The result, when we finally closeted ourselves with our new world and processors, was a screenplay called Conan, King of Seas. Okay, again, it goes through all this detail.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, what is going on here? If it's like, the more I watch this, I'm like, it's like, because I was going into this movie because Robert had told me that this was pretty bad. So
I was pretty bad compared to the first one.
Compared to the first one, because the first one was pretty damn good, if I may say so myself.
By the way,
it's like,
I got the scans right up if you want to see me to flip through it.
As long as it doesn't have anything like explicit.
It shouldn't.
All right, but anyway, so flip through a few pages. That art's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I'm just flipping through it fast.
All right, but anyway, it's like the thing about this. So I was going in there bad, and there was like a lot of stuff that I found was like real chiefly. You know, it's kind of funny. Again, my issues with this movie were not with Arnold at all. I think he did a great job.
He did the best he could.
He did the best he could, and still pretty decent. Everyone else was just either annoying or just there.
Grace Jones, I think, was the other standout.
Yeah, I would say so. But like again,
it's Mayday from View to a Kill. Come on,
I knew she looked familiar.
Yeah, come on. She became a Bond girl, an evil Bond girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but anyway.
Yeah, but it was one of the it's like I get that like the last movie was largely Conan on his own for a lot of it. But it's like then you like just like go too far, in my opinion. I think they went a little too far with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that I felt was kind of interesting is, hang on, I'm trying to find this, because there's one other there's one other actor in this that I was like, is that who I think it is? Hang on.
Not Mako again, was it?
Yeah. Oh, I know it. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was in the first one.
No.
No, you're right. It was this one. Yeah, Mako. Yeah, that was Aku.
Not only that, Malik.
Oh, yep.
Remember Ophir from Justice League? In the episode where the Calypso, he was the one that was constantly talking in third person. It was supposed to that's him.
That was Mako.
I was like, where was that voice from? Because he had a very distinctive voice, and I'm like, okay, I see.
No, he was in both movies, dude.
Oh, okay.
He was in the other one. But going, everyone remembers him as Aku.
Yeah, exactly.
Or of course, Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but so I don't know what happened, because he is significant. It could be just the script and stuff, but still,
it was the script. It was a script that was watered down. I do not even blame Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway, because they worked on the comic.
Yeah, exactly. I will be right back.
All right. But yeah, it's like, again, they worked on the comics, so it's like it's just like, you can't help but feel like, what happened here, guys? What happened? It's like, come on, really? Which I gotta say, though, the Marvel comics is an interesting type of thing where it really adapted everything very well.
Really?
Yep. Dope. And it was a long runner, dude. It lasted like hundreds of issues.
Oh yeah, because I think
it ended at 275.
I think my comic book store has like the first omnibus of the Conan series.
Oh, and there's been various sizes of omnibuses.
Yeah, I was so I was like, oh, so that's what that is. All right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, but in terms of so what this movie does well, I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. They repeat certain songs way too many times, and I'm like, oh my god.
Like, oh, come on.
Yeah, the action was pretty decent where it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing, when did Conan have a wife?
That had to happen in between things.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not crazy, because I was like, I don't remember that from the first movie.
Again, that's the problem when it comes to trying to fit it all between.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait a minute here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm watching it, and I'm like, it's like, I'm watching this. I'm like, I'm glad someone saw it as well, because I'm like, I don't remember that. So I'm like, you're gonna force in a wife / girlfriend that he had in between movies. I'm like, oh wow.
Again, that probably was meant to be explained in a later story or in a different story.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, wow, it just really like it's another one of those like things where it's one of those like that's the sign of bad writing, honestly, in my opinion, is that if you have to retcon stuff in the middle, you could have just said that like his family or something like that is why he does it, is why he goes, because the individual that hires him does so because she says, I can bring back essentially your wife. You could have had that same effect by saying I can bring back your father or your mother or something like that.
Exactly. Well, we know he never had a wife, though, because he was stuck at that spinning wheel.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, wait a minute. No, it's like you could have gone with that and said, okay, you could bring back your people. Okay, then I could buy it. But I'm just like, what is going on here?
I know.
But it's like everything else about this movie was like really, really like really strange. And I mean, let me put it this way. Yeah.
It wasn't his wife. It was his lover, Valeria, from the first movie.
Oh, so okay, I take back what I said. It is that individual. Okay.
Yeah. She died in between.
Still, I'm like,
probably because the actress wasn't coming back.
Yeah, and you can't.
But so it wasn't his wife, but it was his lover.
Well, you could just say in between movies they broke up or something like that.
True, but like I said, but no, she died, so he was mourning. That's what they were trying to go for. They were going for him mourning.
Yeah, it's like, all right, fine. But beyond that, it's in terms of like, so Robert, how do you rate this movie?
6.
I would say 6 is pretty good. It's above average, but just slightly above average.
Yeah, like, again, it was just it was what it was. It was just a spinning of the wheels.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those movies that it's like, it's one of those. Now, let me put it this way. Is it a movie that I would rewatch occasionally? Sure, 100%. It's not like one of those movies where I'm like, oh, I hate this thing so, with the fiery passion of like 1,000 exploding suns, and now I sound
no, let's not go there.
No, it's exactly. It's not like Birds of Prey. But with this, it's like, let me put it this way. Of the two, I'm going to rewatch the first one more likely. Now, let me ask you this, Robert. Where does this rank compared to the Jason Momoa Conan?
I have not seen that one. I have no intention on seeing that one.
Oh, we're definitely covering it, by the way. That's part of the Conan verse.
I brought it up and you said no.
I changed my mind. If we're covering the modern Red Sonja movie, we have to cover the modern Conan movie.
Okay, you changed your mind. All right.
We need to, because it's like we need to go all the way, man. We need to go all the way.
Hey, no argument. No
and
argument for me.
I was thinking, after we do Conan, we should cover Brightburn.
About time. I kept feeling like I missed that one.
No, I don't think in the history of this show, and anyone in the chat that remembers can remind me, I don't think we ever did Brightburn.
All right.
And Cameron says, so the second movie that killed the franchise that badly. Honestly, no wonder it took them so long.
That and Red Sonja finished it off.
Yeah, exactly. Toto says, Conan the Destroyer is a movie made for children. They tried to make Conan family friendly. Yeah, exactly.
Like what RoboCop 3 was the first two RoboCop. They just feel like, R-rated, this limits our audience. You know what? The only time I feel that ever worked, the whole let's make it R-rated, just PG-13, then get a better audience. But that's because you had a director who pushed it to the envelope.
Yeah.
AVP 1.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's the one that got it the closest because they pushed it. And let's be honest, they focused on the alien. And remember, you can cut loose with the aliens.
Oh yeah, because it's like as long as it's not red blood, no one cares.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and Cameron says, I feel like Hollywood forgets kids love violence. Yes, exactly. It's like I watch like Terminator at an early age, so it's not like.
So did I. So did I. Granted, my parents made sure it was only the TV at it, but still.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like that's another problem I have with Hollywood. I'm like, just make the movies. If the parents think it's appropriate for the kids, that's their fault. If the kid gets scarred, that's the parents' fault for bringing the kid there.
Exactly.
It's like I brought this up in the early days of Comics League when I covered the character of Venom, because back in the day I used to do character profiles and then I would cover a movie. I said the Venom movie's great. The only thing that really hampers it, and now especially the second one, Robert, is that at least with Carnage, make it R-rated.
Agreed.
There are some characters you just cannot PG-13ize. They finally figured it out with Wolverine.
Right towards the end.
And it took them failures to figure it out with Deadpool.
Argument. That's argumentable.
No, what I mean is like in terms of violence, in terms of like maturity.
Gotcha.
But because remember, the first time we saw Deadpool was X-Men Origins.
Oh, well, that was also done to screw you, though. Let's be honest. That was also done to screw you.
Of course, but still. But it's like, my point is, it's like, it's very rare that you can PG-13ize an R-rated property. Now, you know what movie also did it very well, and it just came out?
What?
Predator Badlands.
Well, yeah, Predator again.
But here's the thing.
And that's the case because you had no humans.
Yeah, no red blood. It's either robots and alien creatures.
Yeah, the Milky White of the robots, or aliens.
So there's no problem there. So I'm like, that's how you can do it if you really want. Like, have Conan only fight like monsters that you could just lop off heads off throughout this. But
which is what he usually does.
Yeah, but it's like the way they do it now, they did in this movie. Yeah, it definitely felt like they were infantilizing Conan, and I'm like, he's the one character you can't do that. His whole thing is he has sex with people and then kills people.
The lamentation of the women.
Yeah, exactly. Badlands felt like a long YouTube fan flick. Action was fun, but debatable, Legion. But my point is that did really well in terms of the maturity. Toto says the original Sonya movie is better than Conan the Destroyer with Arnold and was family friendly because I had the kid from Sidekicks. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Well, that is true. That doesn't make it good.
Well, yeah, exactly. It doesn't. But still, but it's like, so there's a way to do it. It's just I don't trust a lot of Hollywood to do it nowadays because the problem is when you take a character or an IP that is designed to be R-rated. Like, let's say they made a PG-13 Game of Thrones movie.
Oh, God! What?
Can you imagine?
George R.R. Martin would never allow it.
Yeah, but can you imagine if somehow they got that done? That's what we're up to here.
Oh, God.
No, but they keep all the blood and sex, but it's just black bars on the entire screen.
Oh, God. Why?
Yeah,
Why? I do not need that idea even in my head, toyed with in my head.
Oh, sure. But that's my point, Robert. It's like when you take these IPs that are designed to be mature, you 9 times out of 10, you cannot make them PG-13. You really can't. You really, really, really can't. Now, there are some PG-13, even PG movies that get very mature, like Transformers 1, where Megatron is tearing Sentinel in half.
Yeah, but again, they're robots.
That's the funny part. Lad turns to me and he goes, "Oh my gosh, they went mature with this." But yeah, it's like that's the sin of this movie, is that it tries to become PG-13 and it lost its identity. That's really what happened there.
It really did.
But so let's do a little quick question and answers session, and then we can wrap up. But Legion says AVP needed that R rating to be better. It wasn't a great movie, but I see what Robert's talking about.
Hey, let me put it this way. Giving it to R, you needed someone who was still mature enough to handle it. And I'm sorry, Requiem was worse.
Well, here's why Requiem is worse. You couldn't see what the hell was happening.
That was more, actually, that was less in the theaters and more on the home video release. But
oh, really?
But dude, you had a bunch of people decided, let's have a chest burster come out of a kid on screen.
Or like a chest.
I'm sorry, that lost me.
Wait, Robert, I can top that. A chest burster coming out of a pregnant woman.
Oh, and all those eggs being shoved down, and clearly the babies got eaten.
Yeah, that was an idea. Sorry, Toto says the Mortal Kombat movie from '95 was PG-13 was great compared to the horrible.
Oh, again, same director.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like there are ways to do it. It's just 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
Yeah, but it's like even look at again with like Wolverine, because you have now the thing about Wolverine is that they still managed to do it pretty well with like the original X-Men movies, but it's when you got to like Logan and Deadpool and Wolverine where it really like nailed it, I think.
Agreed.
But yeah, so you guys can ask us any questions you guys would like to ask us about.
I feel like we're gonna keep bringing up that freaking milestone discussion.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna bring up? Let's talk about this. It's on favor with that. I think one of the problems that fandom has is that they keep thinking that their IP, that like their favorite IP, is more popular than it is because it had an animated series like many years ago.
Agreed.
And by the way, it has shown if there. Let me put it this way. Let's say that everyone that watched the Static Show is a comic book reader, which they could be. Could also not be.
It could be.
Could also not be. It could just be people that wanted to watch a good superhero anime show. What guarantee do you have that they came over to the comics? Not a lot, because the books don't sell that well.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you, do you really expect DC to take a loss just so you can have these characters?
Nope.
Well, yeah, they do. They definitely do.
Yeah, these people, I don't get why they keep thinking that.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's like you also have you have that. You also have the people that apparently think that's the other thing. The Static Shock show is for kids. The comics is for adults. Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing though. The comics for even the cartoon still had some very adult writing.
Yeah, exactly. It still did. They still dealt with all those like mature themes, which was very important and cool. Cameron says that's the problem I have with the DC fandom when it comes to characters. Particular point: Starfire does not work solo. She's better fit with the Titans. Is that what they say? But it's like with my thing. It's like the Wonder Woman fandom keeps saying that the majority of Wonder Woman fans want Diana to be with like a woman or stuff, and I'm like, what data do you have of that?
Again, they act like they know that they speak for everyone.
Or like they claim that Kelly Thompson is setting up Diana and Zatanna to be together when that's not
true at all. And I'm pretty sure she's been upfront about that.
Yeah, she's been very. Let me put it this way: everyone that they point to has said, "I can't do anything. It's not up to me."
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's like the point there. And then Cameron says, yes, sure. Oh, that's the point that they make, that Starfire. Wait, a lot of Starfire fans say she should be solo because she's powerful or has wasted potential. Yeah, some characters do. I said this yesterday, as a matter of fact. Not every character needs a solo series.
Exactly.
And then Legion says, well, what's people's obsession with Diana? You know what it is, Legion? This is the surface level reason. I saw this again today. She comes from an island of only women.
Oh God, why?
That is literally all. When, by the way, Robert, mythologically accurate Amazons were not gay, largely.
Again, these people seem to act like they were.
They were. They think that, and they think it's because of Marston's like home life that Diana can be this sexually like free. But I'm like, when you actually know what you're talking about, Marston was not. First off, they were not in a polyamorous relationship. That's a lie perpetuated by DC and any book written by him. Well, according to the family, it wasn't that.
I don't think it was just DC who perpetuated that lie.
Well, let me put it this way. According to the actual Marston family, it's not that.
Well, I believe you.
And the two women were not together afterwards. I cannot wait to bring that up to someone that brings it up. I did, by the way. I did
keep thinking that.
I did to a friend of mine that like did disagree with me on this, but they were very like congenial about it, so they're cool. Who said Diana should be with a woman? I don't remember Linda Carter with a woman. Wonder Woman should be with Steve or Superman. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. You're right. You're right. There you go. Thank you, Toto. You made my day. But yeah.
I agree.
Let me go this way. No. Any love
I would sooner have her be with Steve as well compared to just let's being her up.
Because here's the thing. Britt and I say this all the time. It's like, look, we don't here's the thing. We really don't want it to happen because guess what that would lead to?
I could just
lots
imagine.
of fans over sexualizing Diana, becoming what they hate. Or people, I got heat because so I put out the Robert knows this story, but I'll say it on here. I put out the video saying that Diana doesn't need, should not be with Cheetah. Largely, pretty positive reception. There have been some people that disagree with me, but they were very civil about it. So I hold no ill will. There was one person that tried to clearly didn't watch me because then they said, why don't you make a video talking about why you should be Steve Trevor? And I'm like, I've done many. You're going to have to be a little more specific.
A little more specific.
But then they said that like, oh, your alternative ship to just promote heteronormative like norms. And I go,
what?
I'm like, no. And then Legion says, in my mind, Lois is perfect human for now, but he will outlive her. He is destined for Diana. Legion, you're a man after my own heart, my friend.
Again, I can accept a moment like that happening. I do not believe that's the destiny.
Well, let me put it this way. Remember, Robert, that's what they did in the Tomorrowverse where he was with Lois for like.
Oh, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I can accept that. I really can.
Yeah, and then Legion says that Diana should not be with Cheetah solely due to the hairball issue. By the way, Cameron says when you guys say live action is why people are they want their characters to have a movie, since the large part is why the Avengers are popular, even Mr. Terrific. Here's the thing. Let's see if Mr. Terrific's popularity lasts.
Right.
But even here's the thing. If Mr. Terrific was really that big after the Superman movie, any comic featuring him would be selling like gangbusters. It's not.
Yeah. They get now. To be fair, that one mini came out just as the movie was wrapping up.
Yeah, but I'm saying that he's been in other stuff though.
Well, yeah, no argument.
And it's like with the Avengers, they were already short of the X-Men and Fantastic Four, they were already pretty big in terms of the Marvel character pantheon. So that's why. NJ, hey, what's up, NJ? So Superman will never happen. Steve is crap. So if you have issues with her being with a woman, there's the only issue. Only option single. Yeah. Well, NJ brings up a good point. I've said, why does she need a love interest? Period.
Exactly.
If we can't agree on that, let's compromise and go with that. She doesn't need one. And the amount of people that just want their toxic ships.
Oh, God, that's all they want. All
they want is drama. That's all it is. Legion says, now, if we are talking live action, I'm for Diana having a girlfriend as long as they cast Sydney. Sure. Legion says, Mr. Terrific is a team player, like was mentioned about Starfire. Yeah, he's not a character that can really stand on it. Like
a cartoon show, maybe, as we're about to see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if that actually like lasts. But the point is, it's like there are some characters that may be great characters. Like Terrific's a great character, Starfire's a great character, Stack's a great character. They cannot support their own project.
Static can.
Okay. Well, let me this way. Oh yeah, because Static does have the record of doing that.
And you could use him as the center point for the rest of the Milestone characters if you wanted.
Okay, but here's my concern with that. Because Milestone will do it and then just seemingly lose interest. Because you notice how whenever they bring back the Milestone universe, it's a big marketing blitz to that point, and then it just stops.
Now, again, we don't know what caused it to stop. It could have been sales. It could have been other reasons. Clearly, because let me put it this way. Clearly, it was up until from 2021 to 2024 that it was at least pushing some bit of a blitz. This is the bulk of that. This is then when it tapered off.
Yeah, Legion brings up history shows what characters work best in the miniseries. Yeah, and if the character...
Zatanna! Look at Zatanna. She's more A-lister than people have thought.
Yeah, I'm going to use her as an example because that's an excellent example. Look at Zatanna. They started off with a mini-series, and she has had her own books like before, but it's like now there were months where she was the #1 book. Zatanna. Now, again, no
two different minis with 2 different creative teams.
Yeah, not a problem with the character. I'm not saying the character's bad, but I was saying she also Batman.
Yep.
What?
That's what led to them doing the ongoing, and from the ongoing to the that's what led them to do the second mini. Remember, and first one was also a Black Label,
and then now the hopefully ongoing, and also Jamal Campbell clearly understands Zatanna, so keep that going.
And the funny thing is, he's clearly playing off of the Paul Dini run.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because he's utilizing some of the characters that Paul Dini had set up.
Yeah, and then Legion says Zatanna, as well as many other female characters, carry due to variant sales, bombshell covers. Yeah, exactly. I saw someone complaining about why there's so many hot covers, like sexy covers of the female characters, and I go, okay, here's the thing that people don't want to confront. Okay, Robert, what's the majority audience for comic
male?
Particularly straight males.
Straight male, yep.
I'm like,
I'm not going to jump to that assumption, to be fair, because I don't know. I don't have the details.
Way. The covers sell enough because then DC would not keep doing them.
But that doesn't mean there aren't girls who also buy it for that.
That is also true. That is also true.
And I'm not saying those are lesbians either. They could be just girls who are like, hey, hottie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like not everyone is like so against there being hot characters.
Look at Tristan. She loves so many of these girl characters, and yet, as far as I know, she's straight.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I put it this way. I asked Britt this because Britt and I were talking once about like Wonder Woman, and then we're like, I miss when Diana was drawn hot.
Exactly.
Like, there you go. Now, there are times where it gets gratuitous, like Deodato Jr.
Okay. One era with him, to be fair.
One era. I want to be clear, one era, but I'm like...
Yeah, let's not use that as a way to just dump on the man.
No, but I said there are times
and
it goes out.
I agree.
Gratuitous. By the way, Kevin says, as much as they don't like a comics for the longest time male-dominated. Yeah, so it's like, what do you expect? Do you want to take away Black Canary's and Zatanna's fishnets?
Well, here's the thing, though. They've both been done without fishnets as well.
That's true, but it's like that's their iconic look.
That's I still love in the Black Canary Zatanna graphic novel that Dean did. What they saying with how much we go through these, you think they give us a discount,
or like a punch card? They give them a punch card.
I just love that though. It's like with how much we go through this, you think we get a discount?
Yeah, exactly. I love characters drawn as peak condition. I don't want to see dad bod Superman. Yeah.
God, don't get me started on those covers.
Yeah. Yeah. And Legion says that's like Barbie's very female dominated space, which is fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. It's like, I'm not saying that they should make Barbies for dudes.
No. Really? Seriously, in fact, there are people who would want that.
Yeah, I know. That's a big problem there. But I'm like, the issue that now. Here's the thing. I am not saying, again, that people can't like these characters. Let's start a movie, Dudes for Barbies. That's the next Bronies. That's awesome, bro.
No, you just say they're Kens.
Or G.I. Joes.
No. Kens, because that's in her circle. So say they're Kens.
I feel underrepresented in the Barbie space. I know.
Again, like I said, just go with the Kens.
It's incredibly problematic, Legion. But yeah, it's like, look, that's when I honestly, here's the thing. And these are the same people, by the way, that want Diana to be only with women. So I'm like, I wonder where you align. Or it's like when you start accusing people ship that is all positive, because I've been very clear. I want Wonder Woman with Superman, not because it turns her into Superman's girlfriend, which it's demonstrated it doesn't. It's because they both respect each other. That's the first part. But it's like, I'm not saying it to say. I'm not going there to tell people that like they can't like ship a character. I'm just saying I don't like it. But
yeah, there are cases where that happens, where there are people who do the shipping, but it's like they always treat the other person as just the trophy, the icon, like they did the totem.
Yeah, oh, that happens 100%. But Britt and I have been clear that we don't like that either. Right? Legion says, where the F is the comic collector Ken comes with a full-time job, too many school activities to get kids doing a store bag. They also try to change Superman.
Oh, I've seen that lately. They've been doing that again lately, where people are like, "How? Like, what makes you think that?" And they try to use current viewpoints to justify the past.
Oh, you mean that? Wait, explain again.
Okay, there are people who are trying to say, the whole he renounced his American citizenship and all that stuff. They're saying he wasn't that way because he's not that way now. He was never that way. When it's like, look at he was in the past. And it's like, nope. Look how he is now.
The other thing, it is interesting that about a year after they changed his motto, they went right back to it.
Yeah, but again, you try and tell people this, but yeah.
Yeah, but Cameron says, also, I looked up discrimination comics, and I don't like to make assumptions. I really don't, but these people cannot be comic book reviewers.
Nope.
Because, and no, Legion, that's what the extreme people on Twitter call DC Comics, because DC does not put more effort into representing the African-American characters.
But these are the same people who are like, if you're black, you should, only blacks should write black characters. Why aren't they choosing to write black characters? Because they don't want to be pigeonholed by you idiots.
Because let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. You know what character I would love to write? Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart for the longest still is one of my favorite Green Lanterns. I can't be a Jon Stewart fan because of my skin color. Robert, discriminating against someone based on skin color. I think there's a word for that, right?
Yep, discrimination, racism.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's like these are the same people that say that Wonder Woman should only be written by women.
Exactly.
Yeah. Assume assigning jobs and yeah, exactly.
See, let me put it this way. You want to know the first thing? I've told you this many times. I've said it many times. What was the first thing Christopher Priest asked when they offered him Deathstroke? Garrett?
Remind me.
Have you made him black recently?
Yeah. Is that because he was concerned they were giving it to him just because of that?
Because they offered him Firestorm. Oh, Ronnie Reyes. No, we changed it with a black guy.
Yeah, and Toto, but they'll say that like that was an exception, and he did it in collaboration with two women. That's what they'll say.
When really they didn't have that much direct input compared to what people think.
And these are also the same people that try to like change the hit. George Perez was problematic.
Oh, if you know now, they're trying to say he was racist.
There is some stuff that doesn't hold up. Let me be clear about that. But
for example, you know what they're trying to say? They're trying to say, oh, they whitewashed Raven, that she should have been Indian.
Why shouldn't she?
Because of the way she dressed.
That's not what that means.
Apparently they did. From what I heard, they did take elements from that, but they didn't understand it fully.
Yeah, but it's like she wasn't intended to be Indian. What are you talking about? Legion says, "Oh man, Christopher Priest is a great writer. That's fair to the talent. To yes or no to a job offer. It's not.
It isn't like that. That's the offers he only keeps getting is black ones.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a similar example. It's similar. When Ta-Nehisi Coates went to Marvel, he wanted to write Spider-Man, but then Marvel was like, no, because of like your history of writing, you have to write Captain America.
So even he knew that wasn't a good idea.
That was his thing, bro.
And again, look. Milestone is an exception, let's be honest, because it has a legacy.
Yeah. And
it has a representation. Now, granted, most of that's from the cartoon. I think Milestone would have been long forgotten if it wasn't for that cartoon. And McDuffie constantly pushing it.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was anyone else, McDuffie was a great businessman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, also, let's give credit due. Fan-freaking-tastic writer.
Yep, and the other writers he had with him.
Now, the only thing I don't like is when he said we considered Wonder Woman in the DCAU to be 18 years old. I'm not going to put that up to an only him thing.
No, I was about to say.
I've seen him write. Let me put it this way: he wrote one of the best Justice League runs of all time. Mm-hmm. I will die on that hill that era is one of the best Justice League eras.
By the way, you want to know how many? You know what the longest running book was for the original Milestone?
What?
Hardware, 50 issues.
That's all?
Well, the original Static was 45 issues.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, and then you had Icon was 42, Blood Syndicate was 35, Zombie with the XOMBI 22, Shadow Cabinet 18, Cobalt 16, and Hero 6. Then a bunch of miniseries and crossovers.
And by Legion says, Coates is a trash writer, though. Okay, I will give you this, my friend. I will give you this clip.
Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
Oh, and...
Le who? The her.
I had to.
The fact that he's so dead set on wanting to have a black Clark Kent.
I know. When that was announced, all the black content creators I was following were like, but there's Calvin Ellis and Val Zod.
He doesn't care. He wants it to be a black Clark.
How much you want to bet that he doesn't even know who Calvin Ellis and Val Zod are?
I guarantee it.
I guarantee he doesn't. Because when you think about it, Calvin Ellis, you want to give like a Superman for the African Americans to aspire to? Robert, what's Calvin Ellis's job?
President!
I know, right?
And here's the other thing. He's unique enough. Now, and here's the funny thing is, Grant hasn't done a whole lot of expanding his backstory, so that's still ripe for people to tap into.
Yeah, exactly. And Val Zod, look at that like storyline. He was agoraphobic at first because of his history, but then he slowly grew into the role of Superman.
I think Calvin Ellis is the one that's most likely to be utilized.
Yeah. And then Legion says, great. Now I want to watch BVS for the 1000. Trust me, I still have to watch the Snyder Cut for the 20th time. Yes, I'm up to 19 now. But I have to. It's my favorite movie. But yeah, but it's like, now look, again, you can like characters. There are plenty of characters that I like that I'm like, okay, I think are great characters, but can't sustain their own book.
Agreed.
There are plenty of characters that can do that.
Agreed. I completely agree.
It has nothing to do with the quality of the characters.
No, it doesn't.
It just has to do with, are these characters big enough for... Now, let me put it to you this way. Another thing that I brought up and people brought this up, and I said, well, a problem is that sometimes this is more of a Marvel issue. Marvel gives books to characters that shouldn't have them and ignores characters that deserve those books.
Agreed.
Because there's only a certain amount of like monetary resources that these companies can put to their publication. So it's like it's taking up a slot. DC is more selective, still has this problem to a much lesser degree.
Agreed.
Whereas with Marvel, again, because they want quantity over quality, they're just crapping out books.
They're just dumping them out.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but it's like the point is with Milestone. Luckily for Milestone, they do have largely great characters, and it's like, oh, the other thing. Do you want to talk about certain people on the internet? We're talking about Icon.
Yep, there are people who are acting. They clearly have no idea about Icon as a character because they basically are like, oh, here's his story. He was a conservative coon who Rocket came in and showed him the light and he became a leftist. No, they were both moderate. She was extreme in her views. He was moderate to maybe a little bit devoted in his views. But the two of them were able to talk and come to an understanding and both grew.
It's almost like actually having a conversation leads to people understanding each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's be honest. That's the thing. People, you got to give props to McDuffie. He was. If you look at his stuff, he was definitely left leaning, hands down, left leaning. But he knew. Hey, I know some right conservative people, blacks, and know that you don't have a character like that.
Yeah, and with the setup of Milestone, you would expect they would go super political left, and they did go political in their books. I'm not saying they didn't, but a lot of times it was the type of political that didn't like call the other side stupid if they had a different opinion.
And let me put it this way: you have Reginald Hudlin involved. If there's anyone who would have done that, it would have been him.
Yeah, and that's what I always say when people say comics have always been political. And I go, okay, here's what I mean by that. yes, they've been political. Well, here's the thing. Not all comics. People keep saying all comics have been political. It's not true. It's just you reading into it. But anyway, the political comics like Green Lantern, Green Arrow, it was more of them having a conversation about issues.
Exactly.
It wasn't like you suck if you disagree with me on both sides.
No. Yeah, that was definitely not that way.
So it's like, and again, it's like Hal and Ollie have like one of the closest friendships in all of comics. Lord knows they disagree with each other politically.
Oh, big time! Ollie and Hawkman as well.
Yeah, but and then Brandon says, any of you guys read the Superman Chains of Love special comic?
Yep, I did.
Keeper? I haven't. What'd you think about it, Robert?
I enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good for what it was.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is like with the Superman books, because I get a lot of books in my pull list. I just generally the ones that I normally follow are Action Comics, obviously Superman. I followed the first like 6 or 7 issues of Book of L, but it's like I'll get the rest in a trade or something like that.
Right. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna say, but for this, I mean, come on, Creeper and like her name now, Livewire. Interesting pairing.
Mm-hmm. And then Cameron says some of those fans forgot Wally West was a conservative. Don't know how don't know if he is still, but people forget.
He kept that more vague, but yeah.
People forget that not all characters. Well, here's the thing: you have people that say my favorite character would agree with me politically.
Yep, or you have writers like Greg Rucka.
They have insurance.
Without that's Batman Fortress. Thank God that was it. Boy, that one was just, that still bothers me.
Yeah, but again, to your point, Greg Rucka. Now, here's the thing with Wonder Woman. It's like, and now let me be clear for the people that don't get, because the Wonder Woman fandom keeps pushing to Rucka saying that Wonder Woman's bi. Here's the thing: he has said, "I could say whatever I want. If DC doesn't acknowledge it, it doesn't matter."
Exactly.
And so when people say, I don't care what editorial said, I just care about what the writer says, the writer just told you editorial matters.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Okay, you know what? I feel like I have to play this clip again. My God.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Like, what? There's no one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my issue. It's like, look. Again, and Rucka said, yes, there was a certain way I would like things to go, but I'm just a writer. And if the business doesn't want that, they're not required to. But anyway, with Rucka, it's like, remember when most Legion goes most relevant clip? Yeah, exactly. Then DC should come out and say it themselves, but they don't. Oh, I think, honestly,
it's safer for them not to.
It's safer for them not to. And but here's the thing. Here's the thing, NJ. They are, you know how they are explicitly saying it. Notice how Diana has been bi since 2016, and not once has she ever been in a Pride issue as a starring character.
Yep, the most she's been in was that
as a starring character is what I said with this.
I know. I said that the biggest she had recently was that stupid Blue Snowman story.
Yeah. Oh, Legion, you'll love this. So in issue 9 of Tom King's Wonder Woman was coming out that featured Cheetah. People were saying, oh, he's queer baiting him. And I go, in the same interview, he literally said that Steve Trevor is the Lois Lane for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, it says a lot for me to agree with Tom King, but that should tell you something there.
Exactly.
Yeah, fans just need to learn how to read or stop reading into stuff. Too many fans think that a writer is setting stuff up. I guarantee you, Tom King does not care about Wonder Woman's sexuality.
Not at all.
And here's the thing again. If you're, and this is what I really want to say, if you're more concerned about who Diana sleeps with and her having good
and you're not a fan,
then you're part of the problem with Wonder Woman. I'm sorry. I know it's harsh, but at this point, you need harshness.
Exactly. They really do, dude. They really do.
Because it's
I'm so tired of people in general who are like this.
Yeah. Legion says, Jerry agree with Tom King was not my bingo card, but I'm happy to see your progress, brother. Oh, I still think he's a crappy Wonder Woman writer, but I'm just saying he was right. I'm saying you have to look at like the context around like what a writer has said. If he's worshiping if he's worshiping Steve Trevor Do you really think he's gonna at least hint that Diana may have feelings somewhere else?
Nope.
Exactly.
And yet these people are just so convinced.
Yeah, and I love when they said that, like, we have to now support the book. I know he's a war criminal, but we have to support.
Oh God, don't get started on that one.
Well, beyond that, Robert, I'm like, oh, so you actually don't care? So you're saying that even, let's assume he is. If you really thought he was, and then he supports your ship, that's when you're gonna buy it?
That's stupid.
Oh my gosh, too many of these people. I don't understand this.
I don't get him either. I don't get him either.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's a good place to leave it. So, Robert, where can we find you? What have you got coming on your channel?
Tomorrow I have my 666 PTN as I cover iZombie.
Hell yeah. As for me, I will be and about 9:30 somewhere in there. Britt and I will be going live for the Super Wonder episode. NJ says they must come out and say it, bro. Until they don't, even if they don't feature in a Pride story. No, that's not true. I've heard people from DC themselves, NJ, that say, according to DC, she's straight.
And here's the thing. It's a case of you don't bring up because that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, but again, NJ, according to people at DC that would know, DC considers her straight.
Exactly. But would you agree with that? That's a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Oh, DC would get buried if they actually said something.
One way or the other.
One way or the other. They would get called woke if they confirmed her as bi or gay or whatever.
Well, and you also would tank people across, in other countries.
Yeah, and then it's like they would get like called homophobic if they said no, she's not. They should openly say it. Why should they openly say it though?
Why should they? Because look, they're in a position where so long as they don't say it, it's whatever's in people's heads, and they don't have to deal with the backlash.
Now look,
do they really care about what some of these people yahoos are saying online? No.
Now yeah, exactly. They really don't. All they care about is the sales. And I got news for you: Wonder Woman. That type of shipping would do more harm than good for Wonder Woman. I'm just going to tell you that right there.
Agreed.
You just cannot like deal with this anymore. But anyway, as for me, in a little bit, Britt and I will be going live for Super Wonder Woman. We're going to talk about how each couple that we like would celebrate Valentine's Day. For Amazon Answers, I'm going to be detailing all of Wonder Woman's love interests. I'm going to be doing canon love interests, so like ships and stuff. Like I'm only going to do love interest that Diana has had, so Cheetah's not going to be one unless I want to crap on it. That's Artemis will not be one because Artemis has never been a Wonder Woman love interest.
Yeah.
I respectfully just that's totally fine, NJ. You know what? That's totally and you know what? You're always respectful, so you know what? I respect you, my friend. But yeah,
agreed.
But yeah, and Wonder Woman Wednesday, I'm still thinking about what I want to do this week. You guys responded great to my Cheetah video. I may do one on like Wonder Woman versus a certain character, see how that would work out. But yeah, stay work, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane, and remember, next week is Red Sonja, the first Red Sonja movie.
Yep.
Oh boy. It's gonna be fun. By Crumb.